CDEMA stands in solidarity with the government and people of the tri-island state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, and the government and people of Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. I wish to thank UN OCHA for inviting CDEMA to be a part of today's briefing. I want to set CDEMA's statement within the context of three key areas. First, today's briefing is about people. People who are mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, whose lives, livelihoods, and life paths have been disrupted, in many cases permanently. It is also about supporting those people whose actions alleviate that suffering. And I take this moment to salute Dr. Terence Walters, the National Disaster Coordinator of NADWA in Grenada, and his team, and Ms. Michelle Forbes, Director of NEMO, and her team in Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, who continue to work tirelessly and at great personal sacrifice. I also salute the National Emergency Management Coordinators of the CDEMA system, the people and institutions of the Caribbean community who have rallied in support of the impacted states through the provision of humanitarian relief and surge support through horizontal cooperation arrangements for emergency operations centers and emergency telecommunications. All of this is being delivered through the CDEMA Coordinated Regional Response Mechanism, or RRM. Our personnel responded to the impacted states within 24 hours of the issuing of the all clear. To date, 59 personnel have been mobilized by the CDEMA system, 29 in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, and 30 in Saint Vincent and the Grenadines in support of the humanitarian efforts. I wish to thank the Caribbean Development Bank, the UK Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, and Global Affairs Canada for their financial support to CDEMA's humanitarian efforts. 166.9 metric tons of food and non-food items have also been delivered to affected populations via the CDEMA World Food Programme Common Logistics Service. And I wish to give a special thanks to the World Food Programme for their partnership. I also wish to thank other partners of the Regional Response Mechanism, our participating states, private sector entities, civil society and non-governmental organizations, and international development partners, including the UN, for their commitment to supporting the persons impacted through regionally led coordination. This is consistent with the principles of our Regional Comprehensive Disaster Management Strategy, and I urge entities who wish to support further to plug into our regional coordination mechanism. Second, Madam Chair, I wish to speak to partnership. It is no coincidence that the Caribbean Development Partner Group, our coordination platform, is co-chaired by the CDEMA Executive Director and the United Nations Resident Coordinator. This reflects the robust partnership between the regional and the international. The reality is that we can accomplish so much more working together than working apart. I wish to thank the UN Resident Coordinator for Barbados and the OECS, Mr. Simon Springett, and the full UN family for its commitment to partnership and support within the context of national level governance structures and the regional response mechanism. And I also wish to acknowledge OCHA for its collaboration on coordination. Finally, Madam Chair, possibilities and opportunities. As we meet today, in the midst of the humanitarian response, we must cast our eyes forward to resilient recovery and the vision of a more resilient future for the government and people of the impacted states. The needs will be significant and will be ongoing for some time, and we thank the international community in advance for your continued support in the recovery efforts. This resilient future is only possible if we as a global community embrace the significance of Beryl in the context of the Caribbean's complex multi-hazard environment and climate change. As the earliest Category 5 hurricane on record, Beryl demonstrated the anticipated rapid intensification, which was forecast by our Regional Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology in its seasonal forecasts. This is attributable in significant measure to the warm sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic Basin and the Caribbean Sea. Beryl epitomizes the reality of climate change and the resulting loss and damage, which unfortunately is now our norm. But it is possible for us to choose a different path. As a humanitarian and development organization, CDEMA urges the acceleration of climate action and utilizing the spaces of the upcoming Summit of the Future and COP29 to reset this pathway. CDEMA remains committed to standing side by side the governments and people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, and Saint Vincent and the Grenadines for the long haul. And we are confident that these states will emerge stronger and more resilient. I thank you.